I thought money is everything. I thought if I become rich enough, my problems will be solved. I thought I'm going to be the happiest when I have the most money. And I didn't listen to these successful people back then telling me that that's not gonna be the case. So yeah, I had to find it out myself, and I can tell you, I struggled with anxiety, insomnia, depression, negative thoughts, and low energy when being successful on paper. And the truth is, Tony Robbins speaks about this a lot. He speaks about the fact that wealth doesn't mean money in itself. I mean, money is a tool and it's important because the world revolves around money, right? It's very important. But wealth really means that you're able to make the best or enjoy every single situation that you go through the most. And that also means that you enjoy your relationships the most. That also means that you enjoy your work the most. It also means that you have the best body, right? And especially from a mental perspective, negative emotions kill everything. Like you can have the best body, you can make the most money. If your mind is not 100% of the time on your side, you will never live the best life. And I was there, and I'm telling you, I think the number one thing that stops people from having the best mind is not understanding how the human body is designed, or not just the body, but the human in itself, right? How did God design you to be? And when I asked myself that question and I looked at what are basic principles that I didn't live by, and I changed that with very, very simple steps that I'm going to share with you in this video, my life changed. And I was able to go from a 6 out of 10 energy to a 10 out of 10 energy. Most people cannot even imagine what 10 out of 10 energy means. I have the highest energy from the moment I wake up till the evening when I go to bed. And energy does not mean that you can't calm down. Energy just means that you're powerful from an energetic perspective at all times. I don't need coffee, I don't need a pre-workout, I don't need anything to make me be very driven, okay? And I just know that a lot of men struggle with this. I know that a lot of men, whether you're successful already or very, very successful already or about to become very successful in terms of your relationships, your career and your body, a lot of you guys struggle with your mind not being 100% of the time on your side. Negative thoughts, insomnia, anxiety, up to depression, right? And we need to look at the four, I like to call them categories or parts, let's say with what I stick with in this video, 4 parts of God's human design, how I like to call it. Okay, how did God design us humans? And the first one is the physical body. When you want to achieve your dream body, actually it's very important that you understand that your dream body is going to make a big chunk of your happiness. Like, trust me when I say money makes you very happy, your dream body almost more happier. Why? Because your dream body is going to bring more energy, your dream body is going to bring more health, and money is something that makes you very happy, but I don't want to call it fake happy. You need to have the body to enjoy the happiness, let's say it that way, to enjoy the wealth, okay? If you only have wealth and you don't have the body, meaning don't have the health, you're not going to enjoy the wealth. You understand what I mean? Not as much. So that's why your body, it's not more important, like you need to have all. I'm a big fan of having it all. Why just have one area in your life figured out? Why just having the best relationship but being unhealthy, out of shape and not being rich, right? Why would you not want to have it all? And that's why it's very important that you understand the 4 concepts of how God actually designed the human. The first one is physical body. Now, when we look at physical body, I mean, how can you get into the best shape in the fastest and most effective way? And there's 2 things you really have to look at. First of all, you need to work out fasted. I can make a video only about this now. I'm gonna try to keep this short. Thousands of years ago, you would be a hunter. You would not wake up and eat in the morning, okay? Breakfast is one of the biggest modern scams ever. And look, people maybe have told you that eating breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and that's true. But they don't tell you, or actually they do tell you, but nobody tells you when. So the truth is you should not wake up and eat. You should wake up and have some sort of physical activity. If your lifestyle does not allow it, okay, to work out for 20 minutes in the morning, then we gotta figure out why that is, because I worked with the busiest man you can imagine. They have 15 minutes a day to do what I tell them, and even they can lose 60 pounds, even they can achieve their best physique. So a lot of times when you think you can't work out fasted, it's rather your mind making you find an excuse why you can't. Because I don't want to make this too long, but imagine thousands of years ago you would wake up. Your main job would be to go and hunt and get food for your tribe, right? Your family, kids, whatever. Now imagine you would eat, just make an experiment. And I tell this to every single person I speak to, make an experiment. It's going to change how you think about fitness and performance and how the human is designed. Try to sit down for 10 minutes before you eat the first time in the day. And don't do anything, close your eyes. And try to notice what's going to happen. Everything inside you is going to tell you, go and do something productive, go and hunt. But today you don't have to hunt anymore. Today you can go into the supermarket and buy the food. But hunting means, and we're going to get to this a little bit later, hunting means do something that makes you better. Back then, food was the one thing that made you better significantly because you were on the edge of dying, right? Not surviving. But now everything is about thriving. What makes you better? Working on a mission, working on your body. Anyway, so because people would not eat in the morning and then hunt first, okay, thousands of years ago, hunting is nothing else but a workout. Think about the sprinting behind an animal, killing it, carrying it back to the tribe. That's a workout, okay? And because you do this without eating, your body thinks you're crazy. Your body thinks you're insane. Your body thinks, oh my gosh, what is Paul doing there? Didn't eat yet, but goes and does these crazy things, sprints and, stabbing and whatever a hunt would be, carrying, okay? And as a response, because your body thinks it's too crazy what you do, it releases the most crazy amount of human growth hormones it can. Up to 2000% your growth hormones, human growth hormones will go up. There is no other situation in life in which your human growth hormones will go higher, but if you work out fasted. Okay, so again, I can make this video super, super long and explain everything in details, but just make the experiment, try to see what happens to your body. Notice to see what happens to your body when you sit for 10 minutes before you eat and close your eyes. Everything is going to tell you, do something, go hunting, be productive, right? That's working on your mission today, working on your body, working on your business, working on your career. And try to make that same experiment. Sit for 10 minutes after you've eaten. Close your eyes. What's going to happen? Everything inside you is going to tell you, let's take a chill, take a nap. Now, obviously, it's different for different people. Some people are so success-driven, their mind will still tell them, let's do something productive, right? But still, there's a difference in how you feel and perform and what your body does to you and your mind when you've eaten versus not eaten. Big difference. Make that experiment, okay? Now, we've spoken about the physical body. Then there is the inner body. And the inner body basically refers to your hormones. Your body runs on your hormones. And I know that the first part was more about hormones, I understand. Actually, I forgot one point for the physical body. Your protein biosynthesis is the key to having high energy. One of the biggest mistakes people do is they just snack something. And it's not about the snack, it's like you can literally eat something sweet in the middle of the day. The sweet is not the problem. The problem is that you don't have protein with it. Why? Because whenever you put something to your mouth that spikes insulin, you could drink a tea with sugar, by the way, it would be the same thing, which is why I don't recommend drinking any beverage with sugar. Your insulin spikes, and imagine your protein biosynthesis coming like a small little monster. That's what I tell people. And this monster is a good monster. It's a powerful monster. It can give you energy or it can take energy. Okay, it can make your muscle bigger or it can make your muscle smaller. And every single time you spike insulin, this monster comes and says, now it's time to eat, okay? If you don't have at least 20 grams, better 30 grams of protein per meal, even if it's a snack, this monster is going to be disappointed. So it's going to go down and you're going to take the hit for why you did not feed it. Let me just say it this way so you understand it, okay? And that's when you will have roller coaster energy. That's when you will not build as much muscle, okay? But that was about the physical body. Now for the inner body, it's all about hormones, which a part of it was the physical body, I understand, but for the inner body to understand how to feel the best mentally, but also physically, you must understand that human growth hormones and testosterone are the key hormones. Not gonna go into details now because this is not a hormone optimization masterclass. This is just the basics that you need to understand how God designed the human, okay, and how you can take advantage of this. There's two things I wanna tell you. When we look at human growth hormones, human growth hormones are the number one hormone for fat loss, okay? And also mental sharpness. The key for human growth hormones are not only to work out faster, but also to leverage the night release of human growth hormones. Between 9:30 p.m. and 2 a.m. in the night, that's when your body releases the most amount of human growth hormones throughout the night, okay? Now, if you go to bed at 1 a.m., you're gonna lose almost all of this. And look, if your goal in life is to feel 8 out of 10, look 8 out of 10, perform 8 out of 10, don't even listen to this. This is for the guys that are like me who are just very driven. I can't tell you why I'm so driven. I can't explain to you why I want it all. I can't explain to you why I stopped building my body after I looked amazing, but instead built the best body in my eyes. I can't tell you, but I know a lot of men out there are the same. You want it all, and you're happy with having 8 out of 10 energy. You're happy with looking 8 out of 10, but you want to be at a 10 out of 10, whatever that means for you. Then this is for you guys. For everybody else, that's not for you, okay? You have to understand that you not only increase your human growth hormone production with a fasted workout, when we speak about the inner body now versus outer body or physical body, but with sleep. So you want to go to bed between 9 and 10:30 p.m. because at 9:30 p.m. that's when your human growth hormone release starts, okay? And not only this is important, but we speak about the basics of how God designed you to be. Let me tell you something about your so-called inner body, how I like to call it. If you don't eat 2 to 3 hours before bed, your body is going to significantly better produce or release human growth hormones. So imagine between 9:30 p.m. and 2 a.m., that's when your body releases most human growth hormones. This process gets inhibited or blocked if you eat too close before bed. But it's not even about that you eat, it's also about what you eat. If you only eat high protein, okay, low to no carb meal before bed, it's not going to interfere so much or even at all with your human growth hormone release. So in simple words, guys, something you can even write down: don't eat 2 to 3 hours before bed. And if you eat something, if you need to eat something, if you're hungry before bed, because you shouldn't go to bed hungry, then let it be high protein, because it doesn't interfere with your hormones, the part of your inner body, especially human growth hormones. When it comes to testosterone, there's 1,000 things I can tell you now. The number one thing I would like you to do now, because I do it every single day. And why would I do something every single day if I'm at a point in my life where I can say I could easily stop? You know what I mean? Like, drink lemon balm tea. Lemonbalm. I spell it because sometimes my English is not perfect, right? Lemon balm tea is scientifically proven to lower cortisol. You have to understand that in order to increase testosterone, you must, in order to increase testosterone, you must bring down cortisol. You cannot increase or decrease both at the same time. Now we can speak about how to boost testosterone. Most men though have a cortisol issue. Cortisol is your stress hormone. Ask yourself, are you more aware of the fact that you have too much stress? Life is too stressful. You have too much stress physically, mentally. Or are you more aware of the fact that you need higher testosterone? Probably it's cortisol. You understand that you need to regulate cortisol. And the cool thing is, when you do this, you will automatically increase your testosterone. And you've taken care of the inner body, okay? Now, again, the 4 parts of what I call God's design. How did God design a human? First part was physical body. Second part was inner body, okay? Your hormones, especially growth hormones and testosterone, and a little bit cortisol, right? Now, the third part in my eyes is, or how I like to see and explain it, is mind/imagination. And you might sit there and think like, what the heck? What does your mind have to do with you not having anxiety? I mean, it makes sense, but what does your imagination have to do with not having anxiety, not having depression, not having low energy, but having actually everything you want? The body, the business, the relationships. Everything, because I just told you before, you can have your dream body, you can have all the money you want, you can even have the best relationships, but if your mind is not 100% of the time on your side, you're not going to enjoy it, okay? And the one thing that I want to make you understand today in this video is this. In the Bible, it says the word was first. Why? Because what you say and how you say it influences everything. This has nothing to do with speak positive and positive affirmations, no. But it's a matter of fact, how you speak influences everything. And when we speak about the mind, what you say and how you say it influences what you think. And what you think influences what you feel. Okay? And what you feel influences what you do. And how good you feel in the process of doing everything or having everything. You get my point? So just homework for you. Try to ask yourself and make an experiment for 1 week. What would happen if I would speak even better? Meaning, instead of saying you're great, why not say you're the greatest? Instead of saying you're doing good, why not say you're doing absolutely amazing? I'm not speaking about positive affirmations here or lying. I just ask you to do an experiment. Try to see what happens if you speak from the version you would be in, Like the version of you in 3 years from now that has every single thing you want, the energy, the body, the business, the career, every single thing. How would this person speak? Make an experiment so that you understand this basic of how God designed us humans. Make an experiment and try to see what happens if you speak like this already. Because the version of you in 3 years from now would speak differently, I can promise you. And this is not about the law of attraction, this is truly about understanding that the word influences your mind and your imagination, every single thing, okay? Now the last point, fourth point, is your spirit. So we have first physical body, second inner body, third mind/imagination, and the fourth one, the spirit. And with the spirit, there's one thing that stops you. Not understanding this can stop you from feeling the best mentally. Not understanding this can lead to you being anxious, having depression. I'm gonna tell you what I mean. I used to pray and beg for help. Please, I need help, God. Please, please. Okay, I need to do affirmations and ask the universe to help me and guide me and give me and whatnot. My life would always get worse. Always. Every single time. Up until a point where I asked myself, why would God not want to help me? Like, I pray, I ask, why not? And I came to the conclusion that a master, God created us to be masters, okay? Commands and doesn't beg. I made a different video about this where I speak about the fact that I discovered that living like the captain on the ship changes every single thing in your mind, because a captain knows what's going on, doesn't ignore the bad thing, but he knows and wants to know what's going on, and he commands the fix. And I don't want to make this too long, that's why I'm just going to say this. God does not want you to be a 6 out of 10. He doesn't want you to have 7 out of 10 energy. He doesn't want you to have 7 out of 10 confidence or 4 out of 10 whatever sleep. He wants you to have 10 out of 10. Why? Because it would show the greatness of his creation. And he created you with free will, which means you can make decisions. And when you understand this, you hopefully also understand, or I understood at least, that you should not beg like a slave, you should command like a master. And when you understand these 4 principles, it's going to make it much easier for you to feel amazing mentally, get rid of anxiety, right? Get rid of depression, sleep much better, and take control of your life to a point where, if you are somewhat like me, you can do less crazy things, less complex things. You do the basics, because easy scales, complex fails, and you can get every single thing you want that you want in life. Is there more to it? 100%. 100%. At the end of the day, you have to make a decision who you want to be. Like, I made the decision to become the best version of myself in all aspects. I was not happy with only having the body. I was not happy with only being healthy. I was not happy at some point with only having the best relationship. I wanted the best business. I wanted freedom. And there's more things that I will want, and that's beautiful, because fulfillment means having a desire and getting what I want, okay? So you have to understand, if you have a desire in your mind, and that is to be the best, mentally, physically, spiritually, in your business, in your relationships, then you need to understand this concept of how God designed us. What is the design of us humans? And it's going to help you to also kind of see through the bullshit, okay, that society a lot of times wants to sell us. Protein shakes, ashwagandha, pre-workouts, all these things, okay? Weird mental stuff that just makes your life worse, trust me. You will see through the bullshit, because you can always go back to these 4 pillars, or I call them parts, let's call it pillar now to wrap this up. So if you are somewhat like me and you had a time in your life, maybe it's right now, maybe it was in the past, and you tend to still not be exactly where you want to be, where your mind was not 100% positive, where you had more anxiety and depression than you wanted. You didn't sleep as good as you wanted. And you maybe also have not been able to build the body that you want, which is directly influencing how you feel and think about yourself in the world. Then always go back to these 4 principles, and every single thing you do, ask yourself, is it tied to what I told you today, these 4 principles? If not, there's a big chance it's a waste of time. There's a big chance it's too complex, because again, easy scales, complex fails. Okay, and I stopped looking at the 100 million possibilities of every single action I could take at every single second. I stopped looking at every single opportunity and every single new discovery out there that just is there to make money. And I started to look at, how did God design us? And what are the principles behind our greatness? Mind, spirit, inner body, and physical body. And I transformed my life. And that's why I'm able to live my dream life in my 20s. And that's why I can share this with you, because it worked for me. And if you use this, it's going to work for you as well.